So in Eric Cantor's office, they had a number of people who came in to protest on the issue of immigration. And they were basically saying, look, don't take our families and split us up, right? And they brought in kids. I don't love when people bring in kids to protests, but they brought it in, they were doing some singing, etc. And what's really interesting about this story is not the politics of it, is how two different cops handled it. Now first, they're inside the office, and the first cop comes in, and he's got to diffuse the situation. He's got to let him know, look, man, you got to go, right? So let's see how he handles it.
We want reform, we want it now. We are titanium. Leave our families together. We want reform right now.
Okay, guys, how's everybody doing? Good, fantastic, thanks.
Hey, yeah.
Would you want to leave?
Yeah, they would like to meet with the congressman. I've informed them several times. They have to do that through email.
Okay. Guys, unfortunately, like he said, you got to set the appointment through the congressman, through email, I'm sorry. You're going to have to leave now. Is there anybody here planning on getting arrested today? Or is this all just a peaceful demonstration? Okay. We have to ask you to come out because they've asked you to leave. If you want to set up an appointment, you set up an appointment. So please, if you don't mind, I understand. I've heard what you guys are doing. I appreciate what you're doing. But they can only do so much also. If the congressman can't meet with you right now, they can't meet with you. So please set it up through email, okay? Please don't sing again, guys. We have to ask you to leave. If you don't want to leave, guys, go ahead and move out. I'm going to close the door, okay? So you guys want to stay in? You're subject to arrest? Something, yeah. How you doing? Good.
371 bed.
It looks like
371 indicator pedal light to the
Don't be
local
afraid.
base level
Have a good
68.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you guys so much. Bye, sweetheart.
Okay, our producer, Jared Jackson, described that as the world's sweetest cop. Okay, like,
Well,
what a great guy.
It was like for a second you're like, oh, that guy's a human being.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Bye, sweetheart. And even when he said, like, is anybody interested in getting arrested? He wasn't being a jerk about it.
Yeah.
Like, no, he meant it
He
literally.
mentioned, like, if you want to do this to make a point, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'll arrest you, and then we can take you in and stuff.
Symbolically.
Yeah, and so like things didn't have to get out of hand, right? It turns out you can handle it peacefully,
In fact,
and then they appreciate it.
And he didn't escalate; he de-escalated.
That's right.
Right.
And so, unfortunately, when they stepped out of office, they're already on their way out. Okay, so they're going to sing it again a little bit, but they're on their way out of the building. Another cop steps in. Let's see how he handles.
Boehner, we pray for Speaker Boehner. We pray for Speaker Boehner to bring a bill for a vote.
Not going to have a singing in my building. Not going to happen. Warning number one. That's all you get. Okay? This is getting old real fast. Okay? I'm not going to tolerate it. This is a place of business, and we do not sing in the hallways. Everybody comprende?
We got it, sir.
First warning.
We got it. We're going to pray quietly. We're not going to sing.
I'm going to stay here and tell them, because this is getting old real fast. Every day, I'm done. I'm going to start making arrests.
Oh, good for
really
you.
old. This is getting
because
really
this is
old.
about you and your hall monitoring, you piece of shit. That's what it's about. It's about you being annoyed that citizens are petitioning their government. That's what it's about. It's about you fucking fat, bald-headed, fucking dick face.
But
Comprende?
Comprende?
Yeah.
Capiche?
Anybody get a sense of how Jimmy feels about that?
I can't really tell. I don't know, he's being really quiet about
So,
it.
you know, of course, Jimmy's right, in not necessarily in the language, but in, although kind of on that too. In that, look, these guys came to petition their government. I mean, it is a core American thing. Now, look, you can't do it in that particular way. And to be fair, they didn't seem like they were walking out. They had left the office, but they were staying by the inside the building at that point. And you got to keep walking them out. I understand that, right? Because there's a way to do protests. Now you got the protest like zones, like miles away, like where
Free
nobody
speech
can see
zones.
you, right? So I mean, free speech zones. How Orwellian, right? So. But the comprende gave you a sense of like, Yeah, I see where you're coming at this
It was
from.
just a total lack of respect, and you can totally sense it. You know,
Yes.
he belittling them, saying
Yeah.
that. I
No,
mean,
I
as soon
heard
as
the
he,
cop behind him whispered, "You're not being racist enough yet." He's like, "Oh, comprende."
yeah. Take it over the top. Take it over the top. And what was the big harm? Okay, they're disrupting office a little bit, and Jimmy's right. Basically, he had to stop stuffing donuts in his face for a second to go out there and actually do something. Like, oh, we got to move these guys out. And so he's like, "You're bothering me with all your singing. We can't have any singing in here, okay? It's a place of business where we decide your fate.
Yeah.
In a democracy."
Maybe it's personal for him. So he came out and he was like, nobody's allowed to sing in here. Maybe he had previously been shut down trying to do a version of like Katy Perry's Roar or something. And he doesn't want anyone else to enjoy singing in the hallway.
If I can't sing, no one sings. I am Officer Baldhead, and I have a piece of fat on the back of my neck that I'm still angry about. I've had it since I was a kid. You think I get laid? I don't. I have a fleshlight.
Oh God.
And overall, the point that JR made here in bringing these stories up is, look at how two different cops handle the same exact situation. And so when you hear sometimes when things go wrong, people say, well, what were they supposed to do? Well, it turns out there was something else they could do. They could have done what the first cop did, right? And look, they're being a little obstinate, but they're trying to make a political point, right? In a political context, in not exactly the prescribed way. But okay, so you every day, if they come every day, I have no idea. I don't know, then you help them, move them on out, and say. And I wouldn't have any problem, by the way, saying if that's your job, like, hey guys, again, just like the first cop said, if you're interested in getting arrested, no problem. Just line up here and we'll do that. And if not, we got to go, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, devil's advocate, the first guy tried the nice approach and they moved out into the hallway and then stayed there. Theoretically, these groups, you try to be nice to them, then they just stay there. I don't know that that's actually true. It's just that's possibly why.
Look, I always think, well,
role
what
guy
if the shoe's on the other foot, right? So, like, if it's a Democratic office or whatever, and you got these pro-life guys, and they're coming in and chanting about dead babies and et cetera, and then what do, right? I would do the same exact thing. I'd be like, hey guys, if you're interested in getting arrested, then no problem, great. Let's line up over there. And other guys, I got to take you out of the building. And and when they come out of the office and they still stay there, I just come back out and I go, all right, let's do it again, guys. Okay, whoever wants to get arrested, you line up on that side. The other guys, I'm gonna have to walk you out. And you know what? Here, I'll show you the way out. Okay, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but this is how we exit the building.
Here's the difference between the pro-life protesters and these protesters. Like if the pro-life people brought the kids with them, because they often do bring kids to anti-abortion protests, well, those kids don't even know what they're doing most of the time. They don't understand the complex biology and when is a life viable outside the womb and all that stuff. But in these cases, those kids' parents are going to be deported, right? They're not going to, so this is all about, they have a stake in this. They know exactly what's happening, that if you don't pass an immigration bill, that somebody's going to come take my mom away like they did my neighbor or my cousin or my aunt. They're going to do it. And so or they might have already taken their parents away. So that's what this is about. And that's why those kids have a legitimate right to be there.